Hi, everybody. We're back at doing some of these live, or not live, I guess, some interviews with some readers of mine and some friends of mine who I know have read my book, at least a couple posts. And I have my friend Laura Crater here today. Say hi, Laura. And she is a friend of mine. I'll just tell you kind of my side of how I know her, and she might have a different story, but she was kind of celebrity status at my church. She sings, and yeah, she's so humble, and she hates when people say stuff like that, but she sings. And then I somehow got the privilege of being able to sing on the stage with her a few times. So I've gotten to know her in a more personal way. And her spirit is just amazing. You know, what you see is what you get. And that's really important when you're watching somebody or having somebody lead you in worship, that you know that their heart is they're working hard to make sure that they're right before God, and that they're up there for the right reasons. And her spirit, I think anyone who watches her lead worship and experiences that knows that about her. So I was just going to let you talk for a minute about maybe a favorite blog post, and then I want to tell everyone a little bit about what you're doing and some things we're doing together in the next couple weeks.
Awesome. Thank you, Heather. You are such a blessing. I had a hard time picking which thing I wanted to share with everyone today, but I do just want to read just a little blurb from one of the blogs called I Want a Fast Pass. And it says, God sees, looking at the whole picture. He's there at the beginning of the line. He's there to lean on when I wait in line. And he knows and sees when I'll arrive at the beautiful end of it. I always want to get there faster, but I have to trust that what happens in the line matters as much as what happens when I get to the end of it. How I wait matters. And I think knowing Heather and knowing her sweet spirit and knowing and watching how God has just transformed her has been, and I should say you, Heather, because I'm talking to you, but I just want your listeners to know that you're genuine. And this message, which was just a moment in time for you, is exactly what I needed on the day that I read it, because I get in a big hurry, and I think we all do. We see God's doing something and we want so badly to just get at that arrival point right now. And it's all the process and the journey that seems to be where the fruit really, really matures and grows. And so I just thank you for that. I thank you for showing us that in your life. And I thank you for being honest about it. I mean, some of your blog posts even really get into the nitty gritty of just the disappointments with life and the hardness of life. And I'm thankful for you for sharing it. So,
well, thank you. That's this is a good reminder of why I need to go back and read my own stuff, which I do. Sounds like weird and arrogant, but I read it. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so true. Like I wrote that, and I definitely struggle to remember that how we wait matters, because life is, I talked about that at a women's retreat this weekend, that waiting on is what you do while you're waiting for. You wait on people, and how you wait matters, because life is full of waiting for a lot of good things and maybe waiting for some bad news that you're afraid of. There's just a lot of that. Waiting at stoplights, for example, how we do all of that. Yes, it matters. And it's a way that we can, as a friend of mine always says, to get God in there. Just always get him in there. All that stuff. So
true.
Well, Laura and I are doing an event in a couple weeks with two other friends of ours. Juna Gama, who's a friend of mine from Hope Church, wrote a book called Carol's Closet, and it's kind of her memoir, her story, and her challenge to people to tell their story and share it with others and encourage them and inspire them. And then Lisa Woods, who has a great book. I have her book right here, actually. I love this cover. When Good Boobs Go Bad, Cut Them Out of Your Life. And she wrote a book, it's kind of her memoir and her story about her struggle with breast cancer. So, but Laura is joining us, not as an author. I guess she's an author of sorts, but she wrote some songs. I think your worship album is all original songs, correct? That God has given her. It reminds me of kind of the way that God gives me blogs to write. Like, they just, as I'm going through my day, they're just collecting in there, and I'm writing them in my head. And she's mentioned that just walking around doing regular life stuff, these words and these sounds and these choruses are coming just filtering into her mind.
True.
So she's managed to pull them all together, which is the hardest part in collecting musicians. And so she's released an album called Renewed, and you can find her on Spotify. I was telling her, I put her name in my Spotify albums. And since I'm cheap and I don't get like the kind where you can just listen to Laura Baker, the $10 a month, I just have to listen to other people. And the next person that came on after her was Taylor Swift. So girl. So,
oh goodness.
Yeah, she's like kind of up, she's kind of important and popular now. But anyway, on the 21st, Laura and I and June and Lisa are all going to be at my office at Killebrew Real Estate, the real estate group on the west side of town. There'll be more info following this this interview, but we hope that you'll come. We'll be there doing an open house from 2 to 5 on November 21st. And we'll all have our books there. She'll have our albums there. You can come and not only meet your person of choice, but meet some other people you may not know and hear their stories and just celebrate what God is doing and what he's going to do in the future with the messages that he's given to us. So we hope that you'll come by and join us in that. And I'll have a link to Laura's, how you can get Laura's album. Laura, how can they get it now if they were to go?
I think you can,
like Amazon.
It's crazy, but you can just type it anywhere and it should come up on all the platforms. And I I did actually order physical CDs. If anyone knows, these are called CDs. They still be.
Yes. If you have a car that's less than a year or two old, you might be able to even do it in your car.
I know, it's so funny, but anyway, I have had people ask, so I did order a few CDs. So anyway, but yeah, any platform.
Yeah, so you can bring your CD or maybe something that you can have her autograph. That is kind of get tricky for you, you know.
Yeah, that's
a lot of people use Kindle for books as well. In fact, my Kindle version of my book, just so you can kind of put this on your calendar, will be 99 cents on November 21st, the day of our open house. Only that day. Other than that, I think it's $9.99. And I found out, I guess you can send Kindle books to anybody. It's not just for you. So you can give them for Christmas presents or something. So you can buy 10 books for the price of one, apparently. Anyway, so thanks so much for being here this morning. And, you know, all this technology stuff is a learning curve for us, but we're willing to do whatever it takes to get the message out. So we'll continue to learn how to do it better. But for now, it's organic and real. And I thank you for being organic and real also, Laura.
Thank you. Thanks for asking me, Heather.
All right. Bye, guys.